Welcome to this edition of the MKX Pro League Report. My name is Dustin Kane, and joining me as always is Evan Hashimoto.
Hello everyone. We have got a lot to recap, and why don't we get a little bit of a recap of the standings from Joshua Gray.
Thank you, gentlemen. What a season this has been for Season 3 of the MKX Pro League, and let's take a look at who made it from North America via our points. The number one seed right now is Scar, followed by CR Sonic Fox and then CR Dragon. Sonic Fox and Dragon were tied in points, but because Sonic Fox had higher placings throughout the season, he gets a second seed. Fourth seed will be Noble Raptor, followed by Orbit Hayate, and then Nobles Beyond Toxin defeated Wound Cowboy in the tiebreaker, and our next two players are Carl White, who joined us via Combo Breaker, and George Edward, who's joining us via the Masters Challenge Santiago event. Congratulations to all these players, and gentlemen, I'm really surprised that Scar is our number one seed for North America.
Scar indeed has broken it. Sonic Fox was the first seed for Season 1, for Season 2, the beginning of Season 3, but not at the end. Going into the finals, it's going to be the sponsorless, nameless Scar.
Having first seed is so important. That means that Sonic Fox and Foxy Grandpa, who are both generally first seed in the Pro League, will be facing each other much sooner than expected.
That is absolutely huge, and that could potentially just change the entire landscape of the finals.
But we've also seen so far that nobody is unbeatable. Every single person has lost convincingly to somebody else in the Pro League. This may be the season finals that is the least predictable. And I think I am more excited for this finals than I have been for any other tournament, because we are seeing so many different characters, and even of the repeat characters, so many different variations.
Yes, 100% I agree with you, one of which is Ermac.
Another character that we're seeing a lot of, was always fun to watch, is Takeda, and we are seeing two different variations of Takeda. We're seeing both Ronin and Shirai Ryu.
Raptor from Noble is actually going to be playing Shirai Ryu. He's been playing that variation forever. And then Orbit's very own Hayate, who just kind of snuck in at the very last couple weeks of the season. He is going to be playing Ronin, and he's been a diehard Ronin ever since the game launched. The character variations and variety overall is going to be 100% explosive. I also want to give a very special shout out, Jupiter.
The sweep heard around the world. He could have done anything to chip it out, but and that would have earned him the spot into finals. Unfortunately, he didn't quite make it, which allowed Wound Cowboy and Toxin to play their tiebreaker match, getting Toxin into finals.
Overall, it's been an incredible 8 weeks. It's been an incredible ride for me personally, simply because I've been here for 3 seasons, but there's also 2 other members of the ESL MKX Pro League that have been here for 3 seasons, and that's our friends over across the pond, Ketchup and Mustard, Ryan and Jake Neal.
How's it going, everyone? We are Ketchup and Mustard, and we're going to be bringing you a collection of what has happened on our portion of the Season 3 Pro League. So it's been a pretty crazy last couple of weeks. We've had, straight up, I'm going to say right off the bat, Foxy Grandpa, this dominant powerhouse player from Season 1 and 2, is once again your top seed in Season 3, but has had a much harder time maintaining that number 1 spot. He has lost numerous times now to different players. He has lost more in the Pro League qualifying stages than he ever has in any other season. But I mean, the big deal for what we're having right now is that our players for EU and CIS are locked in and confirmed. And I want to say, shout out to Krathen for winning our final week, cementing that message that I'm of that level of you guys. I can beat everybody. And he did do just that with Ninjutsu Scorpion, a variation we really don't see that much of. We see Storm returning to his old roots, making amazing comebacks from like impossible odds, again, just like we used to see him do in Season 2. Let's also look at the players that have had their returning spots in the finals. Madzin and
Gotta talk about
Foxy.
Madzin. Has to be Madzin. Has to be Madzin. This guy has just been the epitome of consistent, high placement, still rocking the Sub-Zero, still rocking the Kotal Khan, has made some surprise picks here and there, but just the king of consistency in Season 3.
Foxy making it to the finals 3 times in a row. Madzin 3 times in a row. Harry Nightmare would be 2 times in a row. Storm 2 times in a row. There is a lot of consistency with some of our players. And then you have the new blood experiencing this tournament environment in the ESL Pro League for the first time. Because when you see a player that is unfamiliar with just how much of a big scale these events are, especially when you are there physically at the finals, it really is eye-opening to what has happened to Mortal Kombat X on a competitive front.
So that is about as much as we're done here, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you all at the season finals, whether you're watching live in the crowd or watching online. We'll see you there. We're looking forward to it. We cannot wait, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, Ryan and Jake, for that update for the Pro League on the European side. Now let's talk about the Challenger Cup. For Latin America Xbox, it was C88 Faster that was the victor, and for North America Xbox, it was Domi. Now for PS4 North America, we did not have the finals take place because 3 out of the 4 players went off to Combo Breaker, which meant that Game Time is the victor for PS4. But for Latin America, we did broadcast those matches. Gentlemen, I feel we saw a lot of great Jax play over the weekend.
Ooh, BM Dante busting out a Jax out of nowhere. We didn't even know. First he started with Alien, and then for whatever reason, he's like, I'm gonna play me some Jax.
I know, but he pretty much ran through the entire bracket without too much problem. Of course, then we also had young Chiquelo, who was using my favorite character, Shinhawk.
Yeah, buddy.
And in 4th place, we had C88 Faster with his patented Shirai Ryu fast play style. It's always so fun to watch him. Unfortunately, didn't perform quite as well as he did in the Xbox Cup this month, but still, great job to him for qualifying for top 4 for PS4 also.
It was nice to see him make his return, and he is, when you say fast, that constant mix-up level of mind games. That's the way he plays Takeda, and to be honest, he's like kind of the only one that plays Takeda like that.
Let's get a word on how exciting the other Challenger Cups were.
First things first, we'll talk about EU. We had Azadamazi, Born Through Ashes, Upkick Spam, and STB Mr. Aquari. STB Mr. Aquari did take the finals this month using a really, really dangerous Demolition Sonya. And I think when it comes to Mr. Aquari, he really is a case of just, I guess, how useful the Pro League has been for him when it comes to just leveling up as a player. And I mean, now, just good results. Makes it into the Challenger Cup finals, wins very convincingly with a couple of rather disrespectful combos, I guess we'll say. Well, he did have an amazing moment, let's not forget, obviously the bag in between, the execution, the countless grenades he used. It was just great, but it was a good week for Azadamazi as well. And obviously we saw the debut of Born Through Ashes, a player that we've seen talked about numerous times across the Pro League, but here we see him with this devastating Swarm Queen Devourer. Azadamazi again, bringing his Alien and his A-list. So all in all, a really impressive week from EU. But I mean, we can't forget CIS. This has been a massive month for all of those guys. I would say a landmark week for CIS. This month's Challenger Cup Finals, the winner of the CIS Challenger Cup Finals won a guaranteed place in the top 16 World Finals, where they'll play for $200,000. And who won that? Doc. With one of the most dangerous Takedas I think I've ever seen, and very notably across both variations of Shirai Ryu and Ronin. Normally when it comes to Takeda, it's one or the other. Doc plays them both. He won Challenger Cup last month with Ronin, and he won this month with Shirai Ryu, taking out some Johnny Cages. You know, he had Flet and Vladdy 7R as well, with some really, really dangerous gameplay, rinsing those hard-to-blockables, which, let's be real, it's going to be a bit of a problem at the Season 3 finals. I mean, let's not forget, Season 2, we saw the rise of Storm was the most dominant international competitor, and that was with just a generally really strong Takeda. But now Season 3 is the season of Takeda. But we have said a few times across the months, and or I guess the year now the game has been played, that you got these really strong characters with these really strong variations, but imagine if someone played multiple strong variations of a character. Doc could be that. He plays a great Ronin and a great Shirai Ryu. So we might have this Terminator from Russia playing two of probably the strongest characters in the game right now at a really competitive level. Well, that's everything from us, guys. Don't go anywhere. We have plenty of Mortal Kombat coming up, and we have a hell of a Season 3 finals to get ready for. So we will catch you next time.
Welcome to the Player Profile. We dive more in depth with our competitors in the Mortal Kombat X Pro League scene. And joining us is the man who's no stranger to the MKX Pro League and is joining us at the finals via Combo Breaker. Please welcome Carl White, aka Perfect Legend. Congratulations, Carl. I'm sure this victory is very, very significant in your career. What did it mean for you to not only place high enough in Combo Breaker to make top 8, but the end result being that you made it into the ESL Season 3 finals?
Once I realized the situation that I was ahead of everyone else that could have outplaced me to get to the finals, I was like, okay, well, I guess this is great, because my end goal was to win the tournament. I wasn't even thinking about the spot. Once I realized, it was like a load off my back, because I really didn't think I would make it. I don't know, it's crazy, because I definitely deleted ESL from my mind once I realized I wasn't making it.
What happened during this season that prevented you from qualifying via points? We didn't see you week to week in the Pro League.
Yeah, every week I lost to someone different, and I was trying other characters, I would use other characters like in the pools and it would work, but then I'll run into someone and I wouldn't be totally sure how I wanted to approach the match. Then I got into the habit of just thinking too offensively, because based on what people were talking about how the meta works in the game, but that meta doesn't work for me. I have to play the meta that works for me.
Carl, recently you've been going through a lot of changes, some significant things that happen in your personal life. You've changed teams from Team Razor, then to Team Elevate, and now you're a free agent. Has there been anything very significant in your personal life that has impacted these choices or has made you think about your career as a pro in the fighting game scene?
I feel I don't know, I play better when I'm playing for myself. At the time, I felt like I broke the chains. Now that I was being held back, I don't know, I felt better playing for myself. Is
this something that you want to continue in the foreseeable future, or are you more open to talk to perhaps other organizations that want to approach you based off of your performance at Combo Breaker, at Season 3 Finals, and also the future of your career as a pro gamer?
Yeah, I'm definitely open to talking to anyone. You never know. Like, it's just like relationships. You know, you have to take the bad ones before you get that one great one. So I'm not closed off at all. I'm definitely open ears to anybody who wants to speak.
Carl, when it comes to preparation for the Season 3 Finals, what is your schedule like? And is there anybody that you want to face off against at the finals coming June 11th?
My schedule, it's going to be a lot of like breaking down some of the matchups that I feel uncomfortable with and looking at some of my bad habits that I may be noticing that no one else even notices. And really, honestly, if it were up to me, I wish I could play every opponent because I want to beat everyone. I just want to be respected. So I think by doing that, I'll have to beat everyone. So I wish I could put everyone in my path. I hope they are bringing the best they can because I'm preparing like my life depends on it.
We're thankful for having you, Carl, and we're going to see you on June 11th. Congratulations again on making it to the 7th seed. We'll see you very soon.
Thank you.
And again, huge congratulations to Perfect Legend, one of the biggest storylines to happen for the MKX Pro League. Now, if you've been watching a lot of our content and VODs, you've seen, obviously, the combat class, but we've had a new series come from Ryan and Jake Neal called Master of Combat. Let's check out episode 3.
Fighting games are just as equally about offense as they are defense, and MKX is no exception. It's essential that you know what the definition of each kind of attack in the game means and how to work around it. In this lesson, we're going to be taking you through these various ways to deal damage, teach you about fuzzy guarding, and help you understand your offense and how to open up a defensive opponent. Highs are attacks that hit at a tall angle and are usually great for anti-airing opponents. Sometimes they start up faster than other forms of standing normals, which makes them your typical go-to options when punishing an opponent's mistake. But don't forget, highs can be neutral crouched, which is dangerous as one good read can lead to you being full combo punished. You are still safe, however, to go for a high attack off a jumping punch as they are forced into blocking it. Try to only go for highs if you're trying to poke at your opponent with their range, anti-airing, or punishing your opponent. In other situations, you're far better opting for your character's mid attacks. Mids are normals that will hit an opponent who is crouching, but can be blocked both standing and ducking. The fact they cannot be crouched makes them dangerous normals to go for in the neutral situation, as they have to be respected so long as you are in range of your opponent for them to connect. If your mid attack alone is negative on block, don't fear. See if any of your special moves are better on block, or use your enhanced specials. As explained in an earlier episode, using your mid attack to get your opponent blocking, and then cancelling them into a special, is an effective way to force your opponent to defend themselves. Once you've made your opponent block, it's time to start throwing in some deadly mix-ups. Let's learn about overheads and lows. Overheads are attacks that cannot be neutral crouched and must be blocked standing. Lows are attacks that must be blocked crouching. This makes for some effective offensive potential should your character have these options. A large amount of overheads or lows are single hitting attacks, or are quite frequently in the middle of strings. Even some special moves can hit as overhead or low. Overheads and lows have varying levels of effectiveness, depending on how fast they come out. So let's look at a technique to blocking these mix-ups. Fuzzy guarding is a technique used to prepare yourself to block all forms of attack at the same time. Many overhead or low attacks in the game start up in drastically different frames. For example, Scorpion's low back 3 starts up in 11 frames, making it a very fast attack. However, his overhead forward 4, another combo starter, comes out in 25 frames, giving you plenty of time to react to it. So you'll fuzzy guard this mix-up by blocking low first, as the low cannot be reacted to, and then standing up on reaction to Scorpion doing his forward 4, blocking both attacks safely. Take this idea and apply it to as many of these mix-ups as you can. It might seem daunting to remember these at first, but it's worth it in the long run and will get easier with practice. As you may have guessed from the name, unblockables are attacks that cannot be blocked under any circumstances. However, they are generally quite slow to start up and can be reacted to with certain attacks and punished cleanly. Universally, throws are completely unblockable. However, they are also highs and can be neutral crouched, as well as teched by pressing 1 or 3 to tech a backwards throw and 2 or 4 to tech a front throw. Throws become a dangerous option when your opponent is low on health or has been conditioned to block due to your earlier enforcing of mids or use of plus frames. The only exception to throws being able to be teched are command throws. These are special moves that belong to some members of the cast. Typically they have longer range than normal throws, but also cannot be teched. Escape command grabs by jumping on prediction or using armor. These types of attack are not exclusive to normals. Every single attack in the game has some kind of hit direction. There are projectiles that hit high, mid, and low. There are X-rays that hit overhead, even some that are unblockable. Take the time in to learn these attacks, as it will be the difference between life and death. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the Mortal Kombat X Pro League presented by ESL.
Stay tuned for more episodes of Master of Combat. I know they work because they definitely helped me out to get better at MKX. That does it for this edition of the MKX Pro League Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. And as always, you can follow us on Twitter at ESL Mortal Kombat, Facebook.com/ESL Mortal Kombat, and catch all the VODs at YouTube.com/ESL TV. Tickets are still available as of right now. Go to the website mkx3.eventbrite.com to secure your tickets today. Thanks again for tuning in. Use that hashtag MKX Pro League, and we'll see you next time.